What's up, YouTube? My name's Nerdy.
I'm Clarus.
We get Nerdy Nightly.
And we thought we'd share it with you.
Yeah. That is right. Welcome to a very, very odd Tuesday edition of the Nightly Morning Show here on twitch.tv. Nope. Here on YouTube.
Yeah.
.com/c/Nerdy Nightly.
This is so weird.
I'm on autopilot and I don't know how to get out of it.
Yeah. We've done this so many times on Twitch.
Yeah.
And now
81.
we're on YouTube, not by really like our own volition. Twitch just kind of died.
Yeah, Twitch stopped working for apparently just Canadian streamers.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a weird one. There's no chat. This is the first morning show where the chat won't be in the video.
Yeah. It's... Mm-hmm.
Our podcast listeners are like, I don't understand. This is exactly the same.
Yeah, they're like, I don't
David's too loud and I need to turn the volume down.
Oh my god. Well, here we are. We're going to give this a shot, see how it goes.
It is very interesting being like an online content creator and your whole kind of life being at the behest of companies who don't tell you when things are going wrong. Mm-hmm. Like, I've looked through all of the Twitch support pages. I've looked through everything. There's nothing.
Of course.
Twitch has not released anything about what's going on. So it's one of those like, just don't worry about your stream that you have scheduled that people show up for. We'll tell you what's wrong after we fix it.
Yeah, I love that for us. I feel like I'm just going to let the Discord know really quick.
Do it. I will talk to...
Carry the show for a second.
Y'all, I just want to say, if you are thinking about watching the show Adventures of Merlin, don't. It has one of the worst endings to any television show I've ever seen.
Wow. Ever. All right. I mean, you're not wrong, but I do really...
Wow. It's a bad ending.
I know.
It might have the worst final episode of any television series ever.
Yeah.
And it has the worst final moment of any television show ever.
I know.
Like, it's bad.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I made you watch it.
It's fine. There were parts of it I liked. You know, seasons 1 through 3 are fun, and I enjoyed them.
Yeah.
I'll never complain about having more Anthony Head in my life.
Yeah.
As a big Buffy fan, I was very happy to see him in something, and I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Woof.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But now we're watching Grey's Anatomy instead.
Instead of all the things that we should be watching.
I know. We have a list of things that like we need to watch and that are new and relevant. And we started Grey's Anatomy, which I've never seen.
We're mostly just waiting for the new episode of WandaVision on Friday. So that's like...
That's true.
My whole week is I'm either watching WandaVision or I'm waiting for WandaVision.
Yeah.
Should we get into the news?
Let's do it. Guys, we have news today.
Big news. Big, exciting news.
Huge news.
Do you know who Ryan Coogler is?
Not by name.
We talked about him last night.
I know, and I'm drawing a blank. It's been a wild morning, okay?
Ryan Coogler is an incredible director and storyteller. He directed the movie Fruitvale Station, which I still think is his best movie. That might be controversial, because he also directed Creed, and most importantly, to history probably, is he directed Black Panther.
Yes, right.
And will be back for Black Panther 2, which is coming. And he will also be heading up a new Wakanda Disney Plus TV series spinning off from the Black Panther universe within the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And oh boy, am I excited. Ryan Coogler has not made a bad movie.
Really?
He's not. No.
Okay.
All bangers. Truly.
All right.
Every single movie this man has directed has been phenomenal. I don't think Black Panther is a perfect movie, but I would say it is one of the better MCU movies. I put it in the upper echelon of those films.
Yeah, it's probably my top 3 for sure.
Really? Top 3?
Black Panther?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it's number 4 for me.
Okay.
I think. It's tough. Once you get up in that top tier, they're all very good. You know?
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Fruitvale Station is one of the best films of its year. Fruitvale Station is truly like a really, really, really... It's a difficult watch. Okay. It's a tough film, but it is an important film, in my opinion, about... it it is about a young black man and an interaction with a police officer.
Gotcha,
So it can be a triggering film to watch. I think that there are definitely people who, particularly black people, who have faced a lot of that trauma, who don't want to experience that in a film. That it would be a difficult movie to watch. But I also think that there's a lot of honesty in the storytelling of it, and I think that it's a really important film. And it's you know, Ryan Coogler can do no wrong. Yeah. And so the idea of getting a television show from him is just so exciting to me.
So we have Black Panther 2 and we have the television show.
Yeah.
Interesting. Do we know any details of like the script for the show?
No, all we know is that Ryan Coogler is like, this is like his project. He's in charge, which is good news for it. I think that part of the reason why WandaVision is working so well for Disney Plus is that they have a really strong creative vision on the show. Right. And they are going to be... And I'm pretty sure the show was written by one person, all the episodes. Wow. And so the show has a really strong creative vision at the center of it that is really chugging along throughout it. And I'm hoping that the show has the same. I'm kind of hoping the show isn't about Black Panther.
Yeah, that it's more just about Wakanda.
Yeah, I think that there could be a really, like, magical feeling to the show.
What it's like to live there.
Yeah. And what it's like to live in like an in a world of the MCU that isn't New York. Because I feel like I have a pretty good idea of what New York looks like in the MCU. Yeah. And I would really love to get to know other places in the MCU. And, you know, I think Black Panther shows up. You know, I just don't think he's the main character, or she's the main character if it ends up being Shuri. Although that might depend on what Letitia Wright posts on Twitter between now and then. It's just interesting, and it's a breath of fresh air news to me, because this is the kind of stuff I want them to do. I want the MCU to keep being outside the box, like WandaVision is. Yeah,
WandaVision is really paying off. I think there's a lot of there's some love in the chat for WandaVision, and you guys know that we really enjoyed it. We can't wait for the next episode. Hero of Wind is saying they've never actually seen the first Black Panther, and I think that it deserves a watch, not just because it's a really amazing movie, but because of the significance of how well it did.
And what it means to a certain community, you know, and not a certain community. We all know what community I'm talking about. I just mean the cultural impact is what I'm saying. Of that film is larger than the sum of its parts.
Yes, absolutely.
And it's magical. The first time I saw Black Panther was magical. I still think the rhinos are a little weird. In the final action sequence, there's some of the big battle moments on the field in the final action sequence. You're kind of like, all right. Can we go back to that? Let's go back to the story a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
But no, Black Panther's definitely a movie that you should see.
For sure. Definitely recommend it.
Especially, I mean, look, Chadwick Boseman is king, and rest in peace. What an incredible legacy he leaves behind. But Michael B. Jordan in that movie is really, really a standout, and he has some scenes, especially his last scene in the movie. It's just his performance in that movie is stellar. Yeah. He's been in every Ryan Coogler movie.
Every single one?
Yeah, he's the young boy in Fruitvale Station. He is Creed in Creed, and then he's the villain in Black Panther.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, those two like to work together.
Oh, interesting.
And they make really good movies, so I'm like, keep doing it.
Yeah,
Don't stop now.
Cool. Well, I mean, I'm excited for this show. It's definitely something that I'm happy to watch. I'm excited for it. I hope that, like you said, it doesn't really follow the story of the Black Panther, but more of Wakanda and what it means to be a part of that society.
I think there's two interesting ways it could go, right? Either because it's not going to come out this year, right? They haven't filmed it yet. I think it either is going to lead into Black Panther and be the story of the transition of the Black Panther mantle from T'Challa to whoever's next. Yeah. And they could handle that in the show so that the movie doesn't have to do as much heavy lifting as far as the fact that Chadwick Boseman isn't back. Yeah. Or I could see them doing the fallout of Black Panther 2. There has been rumors that Namor the Submariner will be the villain of Black Panther 2. Oh, okay. Namor famously in the comics attacked Wakanda and destroyed a lot of Wakanda with basically like tidal wave and like a war between
Okay.
Atlanteans and Wakanda. And so it would be interesting to see if the show were to follow the movie and that were to be the plot, the show would follow the like Wakanda rising again after this, natural disaster kind of scenario.
For sure.
So there's definitely, they could put it before or after. It's going to be really interesting to see. I wonder if that's going to have to do more with like Disney Plus scheduling than
absolutely.
anything else. Because it does look like Disney Plus wants to keep up this like having a show every Friday thing.
Yeah. And it seems to be working for them,
Yeah.
And it gets people to keep their subscriptions longer. You can't just binge the show until after it's all out.
100%.
And then you're risking it being spoiled.
Well, we got weird Latin Disney Plus put out a weird date for Loki.
A weird date.
Well, not weird, but the fact that they put out a date. There's no official date, but on Latin Disney Plus, apparently... people screen grabbed that Loki had a date on it. And so this was probably just an early release, but the date on that was May 7th.
Wow, okay.
And so what would be interesting about that is that it would put Loki right on the tail end of Captain... I keep calling it Captain Falcon.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
I need to stop calling it Captain Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I'm just so excited for him to be Cap.
Soon.
I know. I just want him to be Cap so bad. It's gonna, y'all. I'm gonna cry when he picks up the shield for the first time in like his Cap suit. I'm gonna cry.
I'll film it for you guys.
But yeah, so it looks like Disney Plus wants this like every Friday. You're getting a Marvel or a Star Wars show.
Yeah.
And honestly, they have too many shows coming.
They have so much content.
They're going to have to add a day of the week. Like, it's going to have to be, like, Wednesdays and Fridays eventually. With the 13 Star Wars shows I think we're getting.
They're just going to add another day. We're actually going to move to 8-day weeks.
We're going to move to 8-day weeks, and one day...
because of Disney.
On the 7th day, God rested. On the 8th day, God turned on Disney Plus and watched The Mandalorian.
I mean, obviously. Why would you not? That was literally what my brain went. You're like, they're just gonna add another day of the week. I was like, oh, I mean, yeah, it's Disney. They probably have the power. They're like, we're gonna actually adjust the calendar year to suit us a little bit better, and the world's gonna be like, yeah, cool,
So, legitimate question: say, the people in charge, the Illuminati, came out, and they were like, listen, here's the deal, y'all. We have to go to an 8-day week. It's going to make everybody's lives easier. We're going to go to an 8-day week. How long do you think it would take you to adjust to that?
Well, right now, because we're kind of in lockdown, I don't think it would make any kind of difference.
Interesting.
If I was, like, living, like, more of, like, a normal life with, like, a show schedule or something like that, I think I would feel it differently. But, like, right now... we don't have weekends, really. We don't have weekday.
But, like, if you had to be like, oh, yeah, it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Catil's Day. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Catil's Day.
Well, then it'd be even, at least.
What is Catil's Day from? That's from something. I'm referencing something, and I can't remember what it is.
I have no idea what that is.
If anyone in the chat remembers what Catil's Day is from, it's from something. I'm pulling it from, like, that, like, back part of my brain. Where all the dark information lives. That's
the other thing is, like, which countries would this apply to? You know, like, who would go with it?
All of them.
Right. Google is our benevolent overlord.
Google is our...
Thank you.
But Google is not in the streaming video game business in the same way anymore. Y'all, in new news. We've talked about that. We're talking about something new. Google Stadia, the company that has made waves with the idea that you wouldn't have to have a strong gaming PC to play games. You just have to have a strong internet connection. You could stream the games into your house, which would be a really, like, pretty landmark if they could make it work.
Yeah.
And apparently, it was a great way to play Cyberpunk. Because Cyberpunk played well on the Google server, so all you had to do was get if you had a strong enough internet connection, but a bad computer, you could play Cyberpunk through Google Stadia. Because they would basically just run it on a graphics card like ours in their...
Right. Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
But now Google Stadia has dropped out of the first-person game development game. Sure. Google Stadia will no longer be producing its own games because they realized it's hard.
Yeah. They're like, oh, this is a little too difficult for us right now. We're very busy.
They were like, this is a lot of work.
Yeah, literally. They're like, actually, we're just going to not.
We're Google. Our main business is just people type in what they want and we just show it to them. Like,
yeah, so we're not going to be getting any Google exclusive video games, unfortunately. Would have loved. I feel like Google would be like kind of similar to Nintendo almost. Like,
in what way?
In a way that, like, I don't know. When I think of Google, I think of like the kind of.
Are you trying to say nice things because we're currently streaming on YouTube?
No. I just feel like Google would go with like, and maybe I'm totally wrong. If I think of Google as a brand and I would think of their video games, I would imagine something kind of wholesome and kid friendly, like all ages friendly, like Pokemon and stuff like that. I don't know why.
You and I have very different ideas of what Google is as a company.
Alright, fair enough.
If in my mind, if Google were to make a video game, it would be like a mobile game where you pay money to click on things.
Yeah, I could also see that as well. Mm-hmm.
I could see them making. If you told me today that the first ever game that Google invented was Raid Shadow Legends, I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I like Raid Shadow Legends. I have no problem with it. I want to be very clear. We were sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. Yeah. I think that Raid Shadow Legends is a fun mobile game, and I've put a lot of time and a little bit of money into it. I have no problem with Raid Shadow Legends, but it is what it is. And when I think of Google, that's the kind of game I would see them making.
Yeah.
Or Fortnite, but with more skins.
Fortnite.
Yeah.
That's true, actually. I could definitely see that.
Yeah.
But it's not going to happen. You're not going to get any Google original games.
I'm so not surprised by this news.
Yeah.
Like, making video games is so hard.
Yeah.
And it takes so much time. And I think that they were like, we'll bump out like a first party video game every year, and then they were like, oh, it's gonna take us like 4 or 5 years to get the first one out. Google Stadia is gonna be 7 years old by the time we get a game out.
Yeah, they're like, oh no, that's too old.
No, we will become this Cyberpunk service where you pay us $10 a month to play Cyberpunk.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Here's the thing: if you cannot shell out hundreds or thousands of dollars to get a console and or PC to play it, like, I get it. It's an interesting idea. And, obviously they're still working on the concept of it.
Oh,
for now.
I think Stadia will have a life.
Yeah.
As for third parties. I just don't think they're going to make their own games. But I do see a future where you go to this wouldn't happen, but where you could like have your Google Stadia account so that like no matter where you are, you plug into whatever device. Like I understand what Google is doing here. They're like, wherever you go in the world, you plug into a device there. Like you go to the library, and the library has crap computers, but they have a good internet connection.
Yeah. You
plug into the computer and you can play your Fortnite there, and it's the same account. All your stuff is in the Google Stadia account, so it all transfers over. Like I understand there's a way that this could be really cool if they can get it working. I think that they tried to make two companies, and they're separate things. Making Google Stadia and making video games are two different things.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think this move is unsurprising. I also wouldn't be surprised if Google Stadia goes away in a couple years, because like...
Yeah. Google has a kind of tendency to be like, meh, we're fine. Let's move on. Like...
Yeah.
Yeah. They have all the money. They don't need to worry about it.
In other news, oh no, my iPad. Yep, there we go. Oh my gosh, we are getting a new animated Pacific Rim show. I had not heard of this prior to seeing a trailer yesterday, but Pacific Rim the Black is it's a weird name, right? Is coming, y'all. There is a trailer now. You can go check that out. But The Black is coming to Netflix on March 4th. Yeah.
That's next month.
That's a month from now, yeah. Yeah.
What?
I'm excited for this. I like Pacific Rim, the first movie. The second one's good, too. John Boyega tries really hard to make it work.
I have never seen Pacific Rim.
our Chad is shocked.
No, I'm sure.
We're all so surprised that
I'm
you have
sure
not seen
everyone is just like flabbergasted.
But Pacific Rim: The Black is set in the same universe as Guillermo del Toro's original movie, and focuses on two teenage siblings named Taylor and Haley, who must figure out how to pilot long decommissioned Jaegers in order to defend their home when monstrous kaiju rise from the depths and begin to lay waste to Australia.
Oh no, not Australia.
I know! You know what they need to do? They need to just get all the kangaroos together and have them fight. Have you seen a kangaroo?
Yeah,
kangaroos are
scary.
jacked.
Yeah. I like between a kangaroo and a moose, I don't actually know who'd win.
That's a fight. I don't want to see because it's like animal cruelty.
No.
But like never mind. I'm gonna take that back. I don't want to see a kangaroo. I don't want to see anyone hurt.
Who would win in that fight hypothetically?
Do you remember the show? I think it was called Ultimate Warriors.
No.
On Spike TV. It was a show where they would do the math on who would win between like a ninja and a samurai.
Oh.
And then they would have like recreations.
Yeah, and you're like, okay.
I would love to see that.
So ridiculous.
I think they actually did one with animals because I think there was a shark one. But I would love to see that. I would love to see that translated into a kangaroo and a moose. I think the moose would win.
Canada represent.
I think the moose would have weight on it.
Yeah, kangaroos are definitely smaller. Remember Kangaroo Jack?
Kangaroo Jack. Oh, yeah.
Here's the thing. I want to watch this show purely for the accents. I probably won't actually look at it. I'll just have it on in the background.
Oh, are they going to be Australian?
Well, it's Australia. They better be Australian. If they weren't, that would be so weird.
I don't remember them having Australian accents in the trailer, if I'm being completely honest.
What? Garbage. I'm not watching it. That's it.
Are you going to watch Pacific Rim with me?
Maybe.
All right.
Yeah, that's a movie that we could watch.
Fair. You know what? Fair. I'll take it. Y'all, in other news, Zachary Levi is going to be starring in Sony's live-action Harold and the Purple Crayon, which is a children's book that they have been trying to turn into a movie, basically since it was published 6 years ago.
Why?
Apparently it's really good.
Okay.
But it's just been in development hell forever. And so it looks like it is finally moving forward with Shazam himself. Big Daddy.
That's a very attractive man.
Zachary Levi. Zachary Levi?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good looking dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's very talented too. Mm-hmm. Great singer.
Really?
Yeah, he was great in She Loves Me on Broadway.
Oh, you told me that was a thing. I need to
You've listened to the First Date soundtrack. You've heard him sing.
How about I listen to which?
The First Date soundtrack.
Oh, he's the lead
guy.
Oh, he's great. I like him. I'm a fan.
You crack me up.
I'm very bad at connecting the dots. The dots are there sometimes.
The exciting thing for me about this is that it is going to be written by the team that wrote Night at the Museum, The Secret of the Tomb.
Oh, wow.
And Dinner for Schmucks.
Oh, wow.
Which are both movies that I actually think are pretty funny.
I've never seen Dinner for Schmucks, but I do enjoy the Night at the Museum.
Yeah, the third one was very funny.
Yeah.
The scene where they are rampaging outside of the museum and they end up in they end up in a West End theater production of I think it's Camelot, and they're in a production of it's like knights in armor entering a production of Camelot with fake knights in armor.
Yeah.
It's and then Lancelot bursts through the door. It's very funny. It really is a really funny scene. And so and Dinner for Schmucks is great. It's dumb as hell, but it is very funny. And so to see that team behind this movie with Zachary Levi, I'm curious about this movie.
Was Zachary Levi in Tangled?
Yes, he was the lead. He's Flynn Rider.
Okay.
You've heard him sing. You've heard him sing in many things.
Yeah, I just had no idea. Thank you, Hammy, for that.
Oh my god.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
I just I love that we do a morning show about nerd stuff, and half of the time you're like, yeah, I haven't seen it.
Yeah. Sorry. Or it's, I don't know who that is.
We're working on it.
And then you show me a picture, and I'm like, that person.
I don't know who that is. Oh, yeah, that person who I definitely
am aware of, that they exist.
All right, y'all. This next bit of news is wild.
Great, I'm ready. Y'all ready for this?
So Jeffrey Wright. We all love Jeffrey Wright, right?
Do we?
Yeah, we do. Westworld, he's great. Jeffrey Wright has been in a million things. He's a very talented actor. We do. You love Jeffrey Wright.
Sure.
Oh my god, I can't with you today. Jeffrey Wright is going to be Commissioner Gordon in the new Batman movie, starring Robert Pattinson. He's going to be Commissioner Gordon in that. Jeffrey Wright is also going to be Batman in a comedy podcast version of Batman at the same time for Audible.
Yeah.
Also produced by HBO Max. So Jeffrey Wright is both Batman and Commissioner Gordon at the same time.
Yeah.
And this is the weirdest bit of casting I think I've ever heard. Not because Jeffrey Wright won't be a great Batman or a great Commissioner Gordon. I think he's great for both of those things. He wouldn't be a great live action Batman now. I mean, he's, I think he's a little old for that. But if they wanted to make a Batman Forever with Jeffrey Wright as old Bruce Wayne, I would be very into that. But it's more that he's going to be both at the same time.
At the same time.
And
ultimate actor.
He's also going to be Commissioner Gordon on the Gotham City Police Department TV show that is the spin-off of the Batman on HBO Max. So he will be in 2 separate HBO Max productions playing 2 different Batman characters at the same time.
Wow. What a career.
I mean, look, he's Felix Leiter in the Bond movies. Like, Jeffrey Wright has a career.
Here's the thing. It's like he is all of Batman right now. Like, that's what it's like. Yep. He is everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
How? Also, a Batman podcast?
Yeah, I think it's I think it's going to be similar. Well, actually, they say it's going to be a comedy take on the character, so I don't know what it's going to be like. I listened to the Wolverine podcasts that Marvel put out a couple years ago. Wolverine, The Long Night, and Wolverine, The Way Home, I think the other one was called. I can't remember. But they were both great. They're narrative podcasts, are basically long radio plays. And the Wolverine ones that I think were on Splinter or... I can't... not Shudder. I cannot keep track of all of them.
There's too many, guys.
There are too many podcast services. But the Wolverine podcasts were both great.
Yeah.
The voice acting was stellar. Really, really cool storylines. The second one brings Gambit in. It was really fun. And so I'm open to the idea of narrative podcasting. Yeah. I think it's I think it's fun. And here's the thing. I get casting Jeffrey Wright. If you're going to cast someone, you want to cast the best. And Jeffrey Wright is... He's just good in everything. You know what I mean? So I totally get that people want to work with him. I just find it funny that I'm going to be like watching the Batman, that I'm going to listen to the Batman, I'm going to be like, that sounds like Commissioner Gordon.
Wait a second. Why would that be? I just want to point out that Hero of Wind I don't think that they knew that Robert Pattinson was Batman.
Oh, yeah. Robert Pattinson is going to be Batman in the Batman. It's going to be great.
Whenever that comes out.
Nah, next year.
Sometime.
Well...
Who knows? It's COVID.
Do movies even release anymore? If they're not on HBO Max?
Most of the time, no.
Oh, man. I can't believe we're a month away from Godzilla vs. King Kong.
Yeah.
Going to be wild. I do not think we're going to be watching that in theaters.
I
don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Simmer said Jeffrey Wright is from the Hunger Games?
Jeffrey Wright is in the Hunger Games.
Who is he in the Hunger Games?
He's, Beatty? Is that his name? In Catching Fire?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, cool. He's in... Jeffrey Wright is in everything.
He's everywhere. He never stops. Trolls and the Croods. That's all we got.
Trolls and the Croods. Y'all, we are going to have weekly Croods updates, I promise, on this show. This is just a quick little bit of news, but if you are interested in God of War, the PS4 game, which was very good, if you do have a next generation PS5, the 6K, the 4K 60 frames per second version.
6K.
They wouldn't go to 6K. The next one above 4 is 8.
Yeah.
There are 8K TVs now.
I don't know why.
Yeah. No, even like the tech influencers I've watched on YouTube play around with them are like, there's no reason for this.
Yeah.
But the God of War 44, your dyslexia. The God of War 60 frames per second 4K experience.
There you go.
Is available today. So if you want to download that, you can download that onto your PS5, and you can see what it is like to kill all of the enemies of Kratos very quickly and with good graphics.
Wow. That you nailed it. Babe, that was perfect. I have actually also never played God of War.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it looks...
Oh, you didn't have a PlayStation?
No, I never had a PlayStation. It looks like a game that I would probably enjoy, but...
Yeah, I don't know if you would enjoy the old ones as much.
Yeah,
they're a little hack and slash.
Yeah.
They're great. They're great games, but they're just a different style. The new God of War is one of the most remarkable games of the PlayStation 4.
I've heard the story is really incredible.
Yeah. With his son.
Yeah.
It's the combat is really cool. There's a great video on it that you should. Maybe I'll post it in our Discord.
Yeah.
Of there's a way in which they animated the way his hammer returns to his hand, where the animation is at a consistent speed until it gets close, and then it speeds up into his hand. And so the last little bit is faster than the rest. Mm-hmm. And what that does to your eye is it makes it look like the hammer weighs more. And so it literally like made the game feel heavier. Mm-hmm. And like the hammer like really hit your hand.
Yeah.
And watching them explain that they spent like 6 months trying to make this hammer or this axe feel a certain way for the game. Mm-hmm. And it's just so cool. That game is a masterpiece.
Dope.
I cannot wait for Ragnarok this year. Please PS5 this year, not next year. Don't push it. Don't push it.
We gotta get a PS5.
We're gonna get a PS5 in June, apparently.
In June.
Maybe.
You heard it here, folks. We're gonna get a PS5 in June.
Maybe. If they can. Sony, I want to give you my money. I want to give you my money. Can I
Not
give
yet.
you
Not yet.
my money?
Not yet. We'll get there.
We need to also get money first.
We do.
Once we have money, we'll give it to you, Sony.
Yes, that's how that works.
This is gonna be our last story of the day, and it's kind of a weird one. Mm-hmm. It is hearsay. I just want to put that out there first. This is going off of something somebody said. Mm-hmm. But U.S. comedian Adam Conover was working on a secret Star Fox claymation project at Netflix. When it was revealed to the world that Nintendo had canceled the proposed slate of video game adaptations with Netflix, after someone spread the word, someone from the company allegedly spread the word about the Zelda series. Adam Conover went on to say, suddenly there were reports Netflix wasn't going to do its Legend of Zelda anymore. I was like, what happened? And then I heard, he said that to the Surf Times podcast. He heard from his boss, we weren't doing our Star Fox anymore. I was like, what happened? He was like, someone at Netflix leaked the Legend of Zelda thing. They weren't supposed to talk about it. Nintendo freaked out and they pulled the plug on everything, the entire program, to adapt these things. So because the Legend of Zelda news leaked out, Nintendo pulled everything from Netflix.
Wow.
Yeah. And again, this is based on someone who was working on a project next to the project.
Sure, yeah.
But his job, he lost his job in this too.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's rough. Oh my god.
And Nintendo famously has a very, very mum's the word corporate culture. Mm-hmm. You don't see a lot of big leaks out of Nintendo.
No.
For instance, we probably are getting a Switch Pro this year, but there have been almost no leaks about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why Nintendo is so secretive. It
helps sales.
Does it?
Yeah, 100%. There's a reason Nintendo is the best-selling... Nintendo has the best-selling modern console with the Switch.
Yeah, I know that, but is that because with the Switch there wasn't much talk about it before it came out? Like, I don't know. That just seems...
No, it's more like... It's more controlling the narrative. Nintendo does a really good job of controlling the narrative around their stuff. And... It's wild. They are very strict about stuff like that. And I just think it's sad because I really wanted this show.
Yeah.
I love Zelda. I want a show.
That's really too bad.
Wild.
I wonder if maybe it's something that they will just quietly bring back in a few months.
Maybe.
Pretend that that everything's fine.
I think they were also burned by Super Mario Brothers. I feel like Nintendo is still upset about what happened with Super Mario Brothers.
What happened?
We watched that movie together. Have you
Oh,
completely...
the movie. Oh, I thought you meant something about the game. I was
No,
like,
no.
what?
So when they made the movie, I feel like Nintendo is still upset about how that turned out.
I would be too.
Yeah.
You know? I definitely would be. So, Nintendo, I understand. And I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That movie is a monstrosity.
It's so fun, though. The fungus. It's the fungus.
I don't...
The fungus.
You know what? It was fun to see Aunt Petunia.
Oh, that's right. She's in that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's about it. It's not good.
Yeah,
It's
I don't know.
very bad.
Here's the thing. Like, Hero Win in the chat is saying that they don't know if they want a Zelda show or not. And I understand that. Like, I get it. But for me, I'm just kind of like... We already had the animated show. It's not like it would be the first Zelda show.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's bad, the games are still good. If it's great, it's great.
Yeah.
I don't really get the... how do I say this? I don't understand the argument of like, well, I don't want them to make a bad version of it because it ruins the good versions. I don't actually agree with that. Like, I don't think like if Marvel made a terrible Marvel movie, like if Eternals turns out to be trash, right? I don't think it will. I'm just saying if, hypothetically. I don't think the rest of the MCU is ruined by one bad movie.
No, I just think if like they make decisions in the Zelda show that then are to be accepted as part of like the canon, and they're bad decisions,
okay,
that can be frustrating.
But the canon of Zelda is indefensible.
Oh, okay.
It's trash. I love Zelda so much. Okay. First of all, 3 timelines, that's not canon, that's nonsense. Second of all, those timelines... the canon of Legend of Zelda is already out the window.
All right.
It has been thrown out the window, and you cannot care about it. You cannot care about Legend of Zelda canon. It makes no sense. So you can't ruin it, because you can just be like, well, it's the 4th timeline, and people be like, all right, whatever.
Fair enough. I guess you could be like, that's the other one. You're
Yeah.
like, cool. All right. This is coming from someone who's never.
At some point, the Legend of Zelda timeline is just going to be a menorah with 8.
Oh my god. Yeah. I could see that happening eventually. I mean, Zelda's going to be around for a long time.
Oh yeah, they're
it's
great.
beloved, right?
I mean, hopefully we're getting Breath of the Wild 2 this year.
Yeah.
Which will be weird. We haven't had a main series sequel since Majora's Mask. So it's gonna be interesting to see how they handle a sequel. I'm excited for it, but it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
Especially if Zelda is actually like, there's rumors that there might be co-op, whereas you can play as Link and Zelda together.
Oh,
which would
dope.
be very fun for us.
That would be fun. Yeah. We'd have to do that. I'd have to play Breath of the Wild first.
Yeah, you really need to play it. It's so good.
I know, and I've been told that. It's so frustrating for me. It pisses me off.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Those dang puzzles.
No, it's not the puzzles.
It's the puzzles.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah, it is.
What?
Just...
No, it's not. It's literally that the buttons are in the wrong place in the controller.
Yo, 2 buttons are switched.
Yeah. Unacceptable. I'm sorry. It's yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah. All right. Well, that was the news.
Thanks for joining us on YouTube.
Thanks for joining us on YouTube. This was weird, y'all. I'm sorry. We know this one was different, but
sorry.
We wanted to do the show even though Twitch didn't want us to do the show. So we're thankful to everyone who came over and joined us here from Twitch. Thanks so much. If you found us on YouTube, thank you. If you were number 350, I think it might have been James Sutton.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Thank you for getting us to 350 subscribers on YouTube. That's really cool. And we are over a third of the way to 1,000.
Yeah, we are.
We're in phase 2. We're in the Captain America Winter Soldier of our YouTube career, and I am so excited to just keep making stuff on this silly little platform.
Yeah, it's fun.
Y'all, I will hopefully be streaming on Twitch later today. That will be at 5 o'clock Eastern. My Pokemon Nuzlocke continues. We are going to beat the game today. We are going to beat the Elite Four.
You heard it here.
Well, the Sword doesn't have an Elite Four, but you know what I mean. We're going to beat the game. I have a team. They're pretty good. And that's going to be fun. Nuzlocke 3.0 is the one.
I believe in you.
Some quick ball shenanigans had to happen in order for the run to continue, but they did happen.
I thought that the number 3 was done, but you pulled it out.
If the Isle of Armor didn't exist, the run would be over. So it's a cheat. It's a bit of a cheating run, but
nah, you're fine.
And then you're back tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I'll be back tomorrow afternoon. I'm not sure what I'm playing yet. I haven't decided if I'm going to do Skyrim or Pokemon.
Pokemans?
Yeah, but, and then Skyrim Saturday, as always.
Twitch.tv/ClarusDracaris for that. And, y'all, as always, my name's Nerdy.
I'm Clarus.
Do something nerdy tonight. Bye-bye.
Bye.